generalities, which from the standpoint of a lot of people who just want people to understand there are directed energy weapons and they are attacking us, that might be a little bit too far. I'm going too far into detail because people have to understand that they're just hitting us, they're targeting us with beams. They need to understand that first so we can just stop that and then maybe go into, the depths of what they do. But my mission here, and I want y'all to know very clearly my number one mission, is to help target individuals. I want to do all that other stuff, but number one is making sure that we understand what we're dealing with so that people who are suffering from what I'm suffering from do not go out and do something stupid. They're careful how they react. They, don't hurt themselves. That's a number one priority for me. So I want to make that clear for you guys, and I've made it clear on other videos. I know y'all understand. So that's why I go into detail about like kind of the tactics they use. And it's taken a long time for them to gather protocol and really get it working to where it's like, even if I don't respond, they can do stuff with the synthetic telepathy and the remote neural imaging mixed with the V2k to try and get me roped in, because I feel like I have to justify, hey, that wasn't me. That wasn't, my thought. That was a synthetic phrase, and then it's like the V2k responding. So that's a tactic they use to get me enmeshed in their mess, and to keep the psychological torture going. So I just want to kind of talk about that. But I guess that's all I want to say, guys. It's 1:30 in the morning. I fell asleep right when I got home from work because I was just so tired. They were crushing in the side of my head. It felt like it was just like, being pressurized into the ground. I woke up now and my stomach didn't hurt because they were working on my head. I woke up and it's like my head felt just heavy and just, I don't have a response for them at that point. I'm so tired. I don't care. The tactics they're using on V2k right when I wake up, I just don't care. I mean, this morning I got really riled up about that Q-Wave thing. I got so pissed because I was like, my number went straight to the customer service manager at Q-Wave, this huge company where they funnel you into sales every time. So please call that number. I may be wrong. I should have checked closer, but call that number and see if it's customer care. 818-478-9283, and comment. Tell me if you get the sales floor. Also, call this number, 862-251-4579. It seemed like a private number. It was like a young girl saying, this is this family, this family, this family, and this family. And it said, we are spies, so we want to remain anonymous or some stuff. It was very, very strange. It was not a Q-Wave number. Just super, super weird. I guess it may have been the main manager's like family number or something, but it was like 4 families. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not saying anything. Like, I'm saying that causes distrust within my heart. I felt it. I felt it big time. I was like, this is not right. How did that happen? I don't know how it has to do with, this program or anything, but I'm just saying super weird because it's never happened. And I've bought things from Q-Wave, 20, let's see, how many times have I dealt with them? 30 times, and it's never gone like that. So I just wanted to tell you all about that experience. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I may be wrong, but it sat with me very wrong. It just is not how it's ever happened before. They sent me something that didn't charge. I hope they send me the right thing. It's only been one. I've gotten good products from them. It's only been like lately that I've been having trouble like this kind of stuff. It's only been lately very, very heightened. My targeting is very, very heightened. On the V2k, I'm not sure if it's looping or whatever. You know, it's very militant. It's like, let's fuck this guy up. They'll say, let's fuck this guy up. That'll be a male voice saying that. You know, I'll hear the mean female voice saying, you know, talking to who I think is this guy's wife. So it's dialogues on there, and she'll say, you know, we've got to do this. This guy's crazy. We're gonna cook him, you know, and then she'll say, cook him, cook the motherfucker. So very militant, weird stuff. And then then the high pitched sound will increase once they say stuff like that. You know, and then I'll hear who I think is my main organizer's voice saying, you know, we have to do this. I have to do this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, I'll hear you know, the nice female's voice who seems to want this to stop and is in distress. She'll say, he didn't do anything. You know, I can't do this anymore. And he'll say, it doesn't matter. I got to do this. So very weird stuff. Very weird on the V2k. It's supreme psychological torture. You know, if this female voice in distress is not, if this is not looping or some kind of automated dialogue, then they're torturing her too, because she's in distress all the time. I can't imagine where they'd be awake 24 hours a day. So, you know, I think it is a lot, but the danger here, you know, if it was automated or looping, you know, that's great. You know, that's great. Not a lot of people are up there and they've got it automated. It's not great. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, I'd feel better. I'd feel like, but the thing is, even with automation or looping or whatever they're doing with that V2k, it sounds so organic. They are able to respond in a way which I'm like, wow, well, that's very specific. But it's been 6 years, so they've had a lot of time to 5 years for just this group doing it to me. You know, for 2 years before that, it was 2 different groups. The group that started in with me never used V2k. Then the younger group who it moved to, totally different voices from the voices I hear now. Then I moved into the house. Then it was this setup, and this setup has stayed with me from wherever I go. So it's been, you know, at first there was no V2k. It was just high-pitched sound, basically, and maybe directed energy weapons, you know, hitting me. But I thought pains in my body were my Crohn's disease. So I wouldn't have known about that. I just heard the high-pitched sound. Then the second group, when I moved in that apartment building, younger people with totally different voices than it is now, you know, and it sounded like it was from on top. And then I started hearing the V2k in a Walgreens, you know, one day with the voices that I heard that I thought were just coming from the apartment on top of me. Now, you know, I moved into the house. I didn't hear V2k for a while. I didn't hear V2k for a while after the young people moved out. And then I moved to that house. I didn't hear V2k for a while. I started hearing it, and I thought that I was just hearing the guy from next door talking. Then once they knew that I knew about it, they started, you know, ramping up the V2k because they knew that I knew, you know, it was happening. And that is stuck. That group has stuck with me, you know, at that house. And then when I moved to, you know, the townhouse, and now when I go to the condo, it's that same dialogue and group, you know, using those voices. So I hope this helps. I just had a very weird day. I really did get out of sorts about the Q-Wave stuff because, you know, that's a company that it's like, you know, the other night I was hurting so bad. My stomach was burning so bad that I was like, I need to go to a hospital. And then I thought about it, and at Our Lady of the Lake, or basically the emergency room that you have to go to in my city, they won't treat me unless I have something visible that's like my arm broken or, you know, bleeding or a gunshot wound. They will not treat me for physical stuff because I have, you know, that's where I was sent to the short-term behavioral center. I've only been sent there once, you know, when I was trying to reach out for help at the beginning of this, and they did get me in there. You know, the ex-FBI agent who worked at the coroner's office, got me to the emergency room and said I was just going to have a physical checkup, and then they put me into the short-term behavioral center. I just found out later, like, because he gave me his name, and so we checked up on him, and he was an ex-FBI agent working in the coroner's office in the city, which is just weird. It's just a weird thing. I'm not saying, like, the FBI is, I'm not going to go into who I believe is involved in this, because there are probably a lot of agencies and a lot of people involved in it, but it's just very strange that he was an ex-FBI agent, in the coroner's office. But so like I'm labeled there. I have a file there, for the stuff that went on, like that I was sent to the short-term behavioral center. So if I go in complaining about a stomach ache or my Crohn's disease even, they go to that file and they say, hey, that's what they jump to first. They say, you've been in here for this, and they totally bypass that I need help for pain, for physical pain. Because I've done that one time. I went to the emergency room and they're like, so you've been in here, and they say that, look, you were diagnosed with this, and it's mental stuff because of the electronic harassment and the gang stalking. So I have trouble getting medical treatment. And I'd have trouble getting medical treatment if I told them what was going on, but I'd like to just go in and be like, I'm in pain. But since I have that file, they go to that first. They deal with that first. It is a mess. It's a mess. I mean, and so it's like Q-Wave was the one place where it's something that can help. I can't go to the emergency room because they're gonna just say I'm crazy. So there was one place that I could go to where I'm like, well, I can get a personal defender if this starts hurting a lot or whatever. And it's just what happened is like very, very fishy. I've been involved, like being a target for 6 to 7 years that I know of. So I can you kind of grow an intuition when something's wrong. I saw a guy the other day when I was coming in to my condo, and he smiled, he waved, he had normal human behavior, and I go, that's not a stalker right there. I didn't say that to him, I waved and I said hi, but he had total normal human reactions. So when there is something weird, I notice it. I'm like, that, I waved to that person, they looked straight ahead, like kind of weird, and then did something weird. It's just stuff like that. And this Q-Wave thing, it felt weird. So that's all I'm saying to you guys. Alright, I'm gonna go, I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. I'll probably title it something with, about Q-Wave or something. I hate, I don't want anybody not to go to them, because the stuff has really helped me out. And maybe my stalking situation is just so big that now it's like, I don't know, I'm going to get that Q-Wave personal defender. I don't know if I'm going to use it. Because, I've been going straight to the sales floor on that. And, I hear everybody in their stalking situations, their electronic harassment situations, everybody is like, this stuff is pumping up. They're pumping it up on me. It's like, and I hear that from everybody. I'm like, is this like, are these people, kind of winding down, so they've got to kind of finish off their targets, their victims? I don't know. I like really don't know what's going on. It's really sad, and I was looking at the Orlando shooting. There's a guy there who held the door. There were like 50 people trying to get out, and this guy held the door with 50 people on the other side trying to run away from the gunman. They're crying out to get out of the door, and the guy says, no, I'm trying to keep the gunman in there. Y'all need to stay in there. And they actually interviewed this guy on Fox News, and he's not in jail. He's not in jail or, being, the FBI didn't pick him up. This guy kept everybody in the nightclub. I'm like looking at things, hearing that people are being interviewed saying there's multiple shooters there. And then the mainstream media is saying, no, it was a lone gunman with 2 guns who wounded 100 people, killed 50. There were reports of multiple shooters the whole time. Seems like the police had a shootout in front of the thing. And then there's like these people who are being interviewed that are like, it's just, it's bizarre. And I'm like looking at